Dave here. How are you? Today is the 6th of the 6th, 2021. So it doesn't matter if you're in the States or if you're in Australia or anywhere in the world. 6-6 doesn't. You guys in the States got a weird way of saying it. You do the month before the day. We do the day first, then the month, then the year. It's the increasing value. Start off with a little one, which is a day, bigger one, which is a month, biggest is the year. Hello everybody. I hope you've enjoyed Cole's show. He's doing that drawer and the drawer front. It's fascinating watching. Everything is good. That's great. Thank you so much for letting me know. Today on the show we have, we're going to finish off this tripod rack. Now I've got it set up here on my bench. I'm going to do a little bit of planing on it, and we're going to get the Festool Vecturo out, which is a multi-tool. And this one's also got dust extraction on it, which is pretty cool. I'm going to do some cleaning off on the back where I put these dominoes in at an angle. The back of them needs cleaning off, and we're going to do some other interesting stuff with that. Pop it up there and we'll throw all the tripods on, and that should be nice. Fingers crossed. And then we're going to get stuck into this big chunk of wood here. Now this is about 3 years old. This is a big chunk of cedar that I saved from going into a wood chipping machine. Now if I can't save anything out of it, because it's got some fairly decent slits in it, splits I should say, well, not bad. I will end up going with, as I said the other week, I have some Honduras mahogany here that I can start, and I've got some other timbers out there. We might make something a little bit more interesting, but I thought, you know what, why not? Let's have some fun and see if we can actually harvest a bit of wood ourselves, because wood's very expensive at the moment. Let me see, what else have we got? We're going to use the hand planes. Now I've got Arthur's hand planes out here as well. The big, the jack plane, his wooden one. Now Arthur, for people that don't know, is my great-grandfather. Not with us anymore. His trying plane, and also my own trying plane, which is this one, which we made on the show. So hang around, keep on watching all of that. Now we're going to also run it over my jointer, and we're going to run it through the bandsaw. Now when I'm talking about the jointer and that kind of stuff, you'll notice my machines are Carbotech machines, and at the moment Carbotech are doing this thing where they're doing free delivery anywhere in Australia. Over $200 order, out to you. Doesn't matter if it's a tailgate or whatever. If they've been telling you $400 or $500 delivery fee on top of the machine, now is the time to jump in and check it out for yourself. If you want to help me and the show out, I do have an affiliate link in the description box down below this video. Now if you're on a TV, you won't be able to see it. You have to jump onto a computer to see it. Go down, click on that link. It'll take you into that machine that I'm going to use, which is my under-over machine, thickness jointer, which I absolutely love. And it doesn't matter if you want that or something else. And you cruise around and I'll follow you around, and whatever you grab, throw it in the cart, and the show gets a little bit of a kickback for it. Doesn't cost you anything extra, helps me out and helps you out. Free delivery. All right, what else we got? Viewers project. Matt Hall has had some 3D printing fun, and he's showing, I'm going to show you that kind of stuff as we're going through. And also I've got the stuff about next week, but we'll talk about that at the end of the show. I've done all of the socials. You'll be getting another email, or sorry, another Facebook post from me if you follow me on Facebook. All right. There we go. I'm just reading down the side here. Everyone seems happy. Good. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is the first thing I need to do is, this is the top of the unit, and I need to just plane the front of it off to being in line with the French cleat at the back of it. Let's have a look at the other camera. Can you see it there? So there's a little bit of a step here, so I'm going to clean that up. Now, I'm going to use the Turner number 5 that I bought from Gary Field. This was his father-in-law's hand plane, and we cleaned it up on the show. So let's start back here and see how we go. You can hold a plane here, or you can hold it here, or wherever you want. I hold it here sometimes because then it doesn't slide around. Doesn't that cut well? Now when we start getting close to the two parts lining up, I may even switch over to the low angle that I have here. I was going to put it over the jointer, but all of this stuff here was going to be an issue. Plywood's not the easiest stuff to plane, but we're getting through it all right. If you're not aware of Turner hand planes, they're basically Stanleys, but they were made in Australia. Now, Rene Turner started the business off, when did he start it? 1935, April 1935, in Melbourne, which is at the moment in COVID lockdown. And he started the business off with two other guys that were working for him. In 1970, I think it was, he had 1,100 Australian families were being supported by his business, making these and other things. What an engine. We're nearly there. Beautiful. Anyway, Rene lived to the ripe old age. I think he died in 2004 up in Brisbane. And I think he lived to mid-90s. Now what I'm putting on here is a jointer fence. This guy here keeps me square. And this is a low angle rider. Yeah, it's doing pretty well. It's just touching that little nail down there. That's pretty cool. Let's go back to the other camera. Yeah, so have a look back through the videos that I do. If you haven't seen what I did, I have the full set. I'm so fortunate. These things are a joy to use and they look beautiful. These are cellulose acetate handles and handle, tote and knob. There you go. All right, let me have a quick read down here. All right, now the next thing that I wanted to do was flip this over. I'm going to put that down there and that one out of the way. You might see, I'll go back to the other camera so you can see what I'm doing. And I'll tip it down a little bit or come back a bit further. You can see down here how I make life easy for myself using the Stanton bench. I have it sitting on a Festool sustainer down there, which makes it very easy for me to connect and disconnect and all that. Oh, sorry, to support while I'm putting, when I say connect, I mean connect it to the bench. We're going to throw this up on the bench and do a couple of things up here. Go to the other camera again. And move that sustainer out of the way. Now this is the French cleat area under here. So I'll spin it around this way so you can see it. There's the cleat. Now in under there are the tails of these dominoes that I've put in there. It's like these are the tenon sections that I've put into the mortises. I did a little quick video on Instagram and Facebook showing you putting these in from the other side. So what I need to do now is get the Vecturo, which is down here, Now the Vecturo is basically a multi-tool, but it's a really nice one. I like it. I'll grab a battery. This has got one of those star clip fittings at the front, so I can push the blade in like that, nice and easy, and then get rid of it. Just go click. It's pretty cool, isn't it? All right, this is the dust extraction port, and it goes on by pulling this little guy forward here, and you push it in on the side. Don't try, let me go on, turn her over, it makes it easier for you to see. Don't try and push it in from the front, because there's a couple of little lugs here. Don't know if you can see those lugs. Yeah, you can see them there. And they, come on, other side. There we go. Upside down, of course, David, that way around. Here we go. Do it again properly this time. Into there and around. And it's got this little dial on the front here that lets you know if you're dead square or if you're off at 30 degrees. Either way, it clicks, or around to 60 degrees. That's pretty cool. So I can go in sideways, wherever I want. Magic. Now I'm going to just cut these off, put the blade on. How easy is that? I'm going to put the battery in. Pretty important with these kind of things, don't have the battery in while you're changing blades. It could be messy. Okay, turn her on. Thought it wasn't going to start for a second. Okay, I've already Bluetoothed the battery to it. And let's have a bit of fun. Put this on. Gotcha. Okay, let's cut this off. Now, shall I go to Calcan for this? Might be easier. Yeah, I'll do this one first where it is. Put some headphones on. Turn her on. Pretty quick, isn't it? Now that's teak that I just did there. Pretty amazing. Now I've left it up a fair bit on that one. I'm going to take it off pretty flush on this one just to show that it can. See that? Nothing there. It's just great. Now I've got them in there as well. I don't know if you can see that. Just there. I'm going to have to cut that one out. Let me see if I can find a really nice angle for you guys to see it while I do it. If I can bring this camera over to here, move that over here, spin this around. Now you might see in here, when I turn the other camera on, let me see. Okay, you might see in here, actually, let's see if we can get in a lot closer. There it is. This is the tail of the domino section that I've got. It's right in that French cleat. I've already cut one out. I've got two more to do. So let's do that right now. Yeah, spin it around a bit further so you can see it better. There you go, you should be able to see that. Okay, I've done the first cut. I'm going to do a plunge down here at 45 degrees. Beautiful. And the last one. Now, obviously, multi-tool is a multi-tool and doesn't have to be this brand, but this one just is so bloody nice. Also, you'll notice here it says speed, maximum speed 4. That's pretty handy. So I've set the machine to 4 here. Here we go, take this last one out. And down. Done. Take that off. Pop that on there. You take the battery out. Have a look at this. See what this is? I'll take my headphones off so I'm not screaming at you. That is in case if the battery is good and hasn't been used and I put it back on that rack that we built a couple of weeks ago, this is the way out it's going to face. If I've used it and haven't charged it, I can turn it around that way and it says, hey, got to be charged. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Now, what we have here is this is still sticking up. Have a look how clean that cut is. Can you see this? This is the one sitting up, so we're going, that is just beautiful. So what we're going to do now is clean it up a bit more using a blue shirt. There we go. I've got 2 planes here. One is my little 220 turner, and the other one is a 69.5 rider, which is a low angle. I haven't got the little Veritas out because it's still in its box. I don't know whether I'm going to use it or not. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. Now, that will do it. But you see it's jumping around a lot because it's a standard kind of angle. This being a low angle should do it easier. And it would have been easier still if I'd actually used the Vecturo hard down on the deck. And that's so good. The difference is huge. All good, all good, all good, all good. Move these guys over here. I love it. That out of the way, that out of the way. All right, so someone was saying that they wanted to use a chisel on it. Well, we can do that as well. Just to clean up that last little bit so we don't have anything fouling the French cleat. Now, here as well, I have a couple of spots that I need to tidy up. This, go back to this camera here. Don't you love all the toys? Toys are fantastic. Get that, because there was one little bit that I needed to finish off. Put that down there. And I've got to clean off these because push this down this way and up against there. Actually, I need to drop it. No, that'll be fine. Push that in and around. There we go. I've got these little ends here and here that I need to tidy up. Which plane will we use for that? How about we use the big fellow? That's there, and this one here. Oh, beautiful. where to put it. Over there. Magic. So nice. All right, take it over there. And then we're going to install it in a second. I'm going to switch the camera around so you can see. Yeah, about there. And you can see why I did it. Have I lost more weight? I'm down to 71, 72 kgs. And people have been asking me how I did it. And I'll tell you what, I'm not hungry. I've been having a great time. My evening meal, I eat like a pig, but it's what I'm eating. And I might do a video on it. I'm not going to tell everyone how I do it. I'm just going to do a video on it. And I'll show you breakfast, lunch, tea. And I've dropped 12 kilograms in around 12 weeks. And I feel great. My knees are fantastic. I'm not straining at all. The gut has totally gone. Anyway, my little secret. All right, let's go to the other camera. Oh yeah, any excuse to show. People like to look at that plane. And now that the wood shows are cancelled, you know, I was going to take it up to Brisbane so everyone could, you know, have a play with it, but it's not going to happen. Let's go over to this other camera. Oh, baby, too skinny? I don't think so. About, come in a bit closer. About there. All right, yeah, you tell her. Tell her, Ed. All right, now this has got all of these teak pegs that I made that are the same profile as the 14mm domino. All the mortises I did with the 700 domino. And this hopefully is going to fit up here nicely. Move that wire from there. Now you might notice down this side, it's a perfect fit. This is one of the reasons why I'll pull this back just a touch. Come over here so you can see me. This is one of the reasons why I put the cleat onto, I put all the French cleat up there first, and then I put this panel over the top, glue and all that kind of stuff, and then nailed it so that this join here would be perfect. And it really has come up well. All right, I'm clear of the switch down there. I'm clear of up the top. It's all going according to plan. Now, why have I built this? Well, it's for all of these. You'll notice that the distances are a little bit different here. This is specifically built for these parts here to keep the tripods level. Come over here a bit further. There we go. That's probably the best position. Okay. That's okay. Spin it around this way. Good. 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 And of course the cameras. I've got room for 2 more tripods up there if I want. Or if I want to, I can put cameras over there. This one down here. And let me see if I can put a clamp there. Not that I want to, but it's always nice to have options. Let's see, which one will we try? This one. If I ever get out of doing this kind of stuff, I can use this. Other way around, maybe. There. That'll work. So I can put them that way, or I can put them sideways further down the track. Pull it back just a touch. This is a little bit of fine tuning. It's got to happen if I decide to go that way. That sits nicely. Yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with that. And we'll go back over. You can never have too many tripods, but that looks great. What do you reckon? My secret or Vicky's. I haven't caught up with all of the conversation there. Let me see it. Dare I drink this coffee? I've been planing the plywood. That's why God gives you a moustache, so you can filter all the sawdust out. All right, next we're going to hook in to this job here. They fit like a glove. It fits really well. I'm very happy with it. All right, move some stuff out of the way. And give me a second. I just need to move some things around. What have we got? Move this camera over here. And I'm going to move this guy back to where it was. How good is it having things on wheels? There we go. Out of the way. Oh, I like that a lot. Put that camera up there so I can see them all in one hit. Now we're going to do some work on that. Are we locked there? I think we are. I don't need the shop vac there anymore. Did I tell you I got in trouble once for saying that that was a shop vac? It's just like calling a Hoover, a vacuum cleaner in England. They call them a Hoover. You know, here I call a little dust extractor for tools a shop vac. Andrew, so much easier. That's great. They're out of the way. I love it. Have a look. Magic. In the drawer, they were taking up space all over the place. You know, they were on top of the other things, ferreting around underneath to get stuff. So much easier. All right, let me see. Get this camera, and we will take it over here. Through that corner. And hopefully we're going to have enough length without pulling the cable out. Should be good. Sorry about the weight. Go to the other camera. That might work. There we go. Now, what I needed to do was to get this chunk of wood ready to put over the jointer. Now, this had all sorts of stuff there that was in the way, like it came up to a point, because that's what wood does. You know, it doesn't come off the tree ready milled. Move some. I was working on it a bit last night just to make sure that I kind of looked what I knew what I was talking about. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put another dog on the back here, just so it doesn't slide out sideways. So about there. Good. I've got the brakes on the bench. I want to try and get it. I don't know if you can see that there. I want to try and get it so it's at 90 degrees there. So when I put it over the machine, it's going to be easy. This is kind of at an angle, so I've got to get this way at an angle. This is why I've been using the square to make sure that I'm kind of right. I'm a little bit off there, but I think it'll be okay. Now this plane here is a jack plane. This is jack of all trades, I guess you could call it, but this is a little bit almost like a German jack. So a German jack is for ripping material off quickly, or sorry, for planing material off quickly, and so hence this is the one that I've been using. Now I haven't touched these blades. These blades have not been touched by me for sharpening. These are how Arthur left them, and Arthur died in the 40s, 1940s. So I'll show you how good it is. All right, we'll do a bit more. Now you may also notice I'm getting a kind of a narrow shaving. The shaving is shaped like this because that's how the blade is. The blade is shaped like that so that there's no, it's not flat and then a little bit nip off at the edge to keep it clean. It's designed for hooking in. Now the next one is his trying plane. It's almost a jointer, but if you go back through all the books, they tell you the size of these planes, the wooden planes. So the next length up from this, which is a little bit longer, is a jointer. This one, the next one down, is the trying plane. Don't ask me why. It just is. Again, blade hasn't been touched. So this is cleaning off all those tops. Those shavings, I've taken the blade out and had a look at it, but they're magic. All right, now out with this guy, and let's see if it's going to work at all. It probably won't be any near as nice as those, but let's have a go. Come on. Not too bad. All right, let's see if we're kind of staying where I wanted it to be. It's not bad. Not bad. Let's check for straight. That's pretty good. Now I've gone to the effort to do this so that when I put it over the jointer, over the machine that I'm going to put it over in a second, I've got a base to work on. So this is going to be a little bit awkward, but let's do that. And I'm thinking also maybe before I do, I might cut the end off with the chainsaw. So to do that, I'm going to move a couple of dogs around the back here so it doesn't go moving on me. There, and there. So I'm going to cut it here. Battery. Winding sticks. I've got the winding sticks there, but I'm not using them right at the moment. Okay, there might be a bit of sawdust thrown your way. Hopefully I will be able to do this. I'm just looking to see where I'm going down the back there. I might put a mark on it. So I don't get lost. I think I'm going to cut about here. That'll do me. All right. Eye muffs. I'll be sensible. Have a quick read. Hey Jen, how are you? Scrub plane could, yeah, scrub plane's more for kind of awkward stuff. Arthur would be well pleased to see these old tools. The DeWalt weapon, yep. Glenn was around at my place the other day and we were cutting up some firewood and we just used this. He left his still at home. Here we go. Beautiful. Now that is more like what I wanted to see at the end. Now that gives me a really good indication as to how I can mill this timber. I'm going to cut this, and then I'm going to cut this and this. And hopefully I should be able to get some decent wood out of there. Next thing we're going to do is go over to the jointer. Didn't need a clamp with that. I had the dogs in the bench. See underneath? See these dogs here? The whole chunk of wood was pushing back against those dogs. So it wasn't going to go anywhere, Stephen. No, I wouldn't use a two-stroke. That's why I went for the battery. All right, give me a second. I'm going to move that camera over to the jointer. We got plenty of time. Plenty of time. As I say, today's a fun show. Just to play around with some things. And if we end up with some really nice wood, that'd be lovely too. All right. Back to the other camera and a bit more coffee. I'll have a quick read. Okay, Graham, how are you, buddy? All right. I'm going to have a look at where the other one is. There it is, and you can see me waving down here. All right, I'm going to go over to there. We're going to put this chunk over that jointer, and then rip it on the bandsaw, and then possibly put it through the thicknesser. Oh, I've just torn the battery pack off me. I think squeezing past. It's lucky I wasn't fatter. Here we go. I'm going to be in trouble. Where is it? I'm going to have to put this in my pocket. Hopefully, it doesn't kill the sound. Let's see what happens. Can you still hear me? That's the question. Yep. Okay. Let's drag this fellow right back down this way for the moment. And out there. There we go. That's going to give me a bit more room. Yep, audio's still okay. Terrific. I must. How good's that chainsaw? Jeremy's watching. It's a lovely machine. Okay, now, just make sure that you can see me talking as well. I'm going to just tip that camera up ever so slightly. About there. Now this particular machine has got a blade guard, which is very important to use. Now I'm going to be jointing very wide material. I don't want this here to get in the way and have to walk around and be awkward. So I will be removing this whilst I'm going to put very wide timber over it. It's thick. That's all there is to it. This guard will not go up high enough to put timber underneath at this thickness. Now some people will probably say you're not using the right machine for the right job. Well, I think I am. Now you can watch how good this machine works. And as I said, I put a link in the description box down the bottom. So if you want one and you're in Australia and you want it free delivery, use that link. Remember the auto blast gates? Let's see how we go. First of all, I'm going to put it on there. Before I start it. Okay, that's sitting nicely. Good. And you can see I nearly got it perfect on the side there. That's all good. Just checking around everything. Lovely. All right, here we go. Last gate. Away we go. And off. And have a quick look. Well, that's pretty good. We're going to do that a few times. I'm going to set the depth down even lower. That was 1 millimetre. Because it's softwood, I'm taking it down to 2 millimetres. If it was hardwood, I'd stay at 1 millimetre. This is a beautiful cutting head, but don't push things. Just don't ruin them. Here we go. Another pass. You notice also that I'm using a short length of timber. I'm not putting a really long piece of timber trunk over here. I have to be able to control it. If I couldn't control it, well, that would be very dangerous. We're nearly there. We're off. Let's have a look at that. Wait for it to stop. It's all stopped. There we go. That is pretty damn nice. Now, I'm going to put it on this way. And now that I've got that big straight area there, I can actually push it up against the fence. So I'm going to be taking more off the outside than I am over there. Now on the back, I'm holding onto it up here, right away from down here. I'm holding up here. I'm a good 4.5 inches away from everything. This is not something that I'd suggest you race out and do. But if you're curious about how I'm doing it here, I'm making sure that I've got nothing obstructing me, so halfway through, I'm not going to go looking around, what's stopping me, what's stopping me? It's all good. That's a powerful motor. That is so good. It's 260 millimetres that it was taking off there by 2 millimetres thick. Let's have a look. Look at that. Now you can see that's cedar. The guy who cut this tree down told me it was cypress. All you have to do is smell it to know that it's cedar. I'm going to do 2 more passes, and that should just about finish cleaning all of that up. Then we're going to put it on the bandsaw. Yeah, that's nearly full width of that head. The head is 260 millimetres wide. That's 250 it's planing at the moment. 2 millimetres thick. Very impressive. Hands right up out of the way. How good is this dust extraction? Okay, take them down the other end. How nice is that? So there we go. I've got that space beautifully finished all the way through. And that's what it was like. And then this is the outside of the tree. And this is the one we started with the hand planes, the old wooden hand planes, to get a level surface for me to put it over the joint. If you don't do that first, you run the risk of it rocking, and it's dangerous. So do this first. Yeah, it's actually 260 millimeters. So it's 10 inch. Have a look. As I say, click that link in the description box below the video and it'll take you into Carbotech's website. You can have a look at all the specs on it. I'm fully upfront. I have an affiliation, and if you purchase one, I will get some benefit from it. I'm not trying to hide that, but the big thing at the moment is they're doing free delivery for anything over 200 bucks, anywhere in Australia. Crazy not to. And it's a beautiful machine. I'd hug it too. Isn't it beautiful wood? It was going to go in a chipper. All right, let's see. What's the next thing we're going to do? I have a surprise. Now, this is a surprise for me as well. So I'm going to put this down over the side here. And stand her up and move a couple of things out of the way. Now, I don't know if you're aware, but my bench that I use all the time, you see me use it all the time, has anti-slip strips on it, these things here. Now, as luck would have it, this bench on its legs, on top of my other big bench here that I made, is the perfect height for an outfeed table for my bandsaw. Are you excited? I am. But here's the thing. Are you aware that if we tip this upside down and undo all of these, take them off, doesn't take long. 1, 2, 3. I take the apron off, put it over the side because we don't need that for the moment, but geez, it's helpful. Yes, it will, because I'm showing you how to work. I'll have to put everything away. Of course I will. Oh dear. Nearly done, nearly done. All right, they're all over there. I'm going to turn it up the other way again. And now I'm going to put all the legs in this side. What do you think? Did you know that it's two-sided, multi-purpose? That's the way I designed it. And I think I've mentioned this before. So if you're doing something that requires something to slide around, or if you want to paint something or cut something actually through the surface, you turn the bench upside down, take the legs out, put them on the other side, because the steel threaded inserts that I put in it go right the way through. So now I have totally flat, clear surface. And we're going to move some things here. undo the locks on the wheels. This is bark that was on the outside of that chunk of wood. I nearly gave these to Glenn the other day when he was around here. I thought, no, I won't do that. I'll hold on to them. I just had so much wood out there, and that might sound like it's bragging, it's not. It was actually a problem for me because we get a lot of snakes here, and the snakes love piles of wood, and they go in and they hide. So, first time posted, okay, Stephen, how are you? So I didn't want, I had a dirty big Eastern brown hiding in this wood pile. I thought, not worth it. One bite from that snake on the stupid dog, and my marriage would be over. So, got rid of the wood, got rid of it. All right. Now, let's put this on top of this. I'm just going to clear some of those away. Done. And how are we going to set this up? If I roll this around this way and then bring this fellow over here, that might work well. And we'll bring the, come on. Drop it down there. It's not exactly the right height, but it's bloody close. And if I was to put a piece of 6mm ply on there, it would be perfect height. I'm not going to. I'm going to get that other camera. We've still got a few minutes to go, 10 minutes or so to go. And we'll rip this down. And I'm hopefully going to end up with a really nice piece of wood for the display cabinet for my camera gear. This is for the still photography stuff that I do. Nearly there, nearly there, nearly there. I'll talk you through this as well. A couple of things that I do. Yep, that's fine. Mouse, lucky I didn't lose it. Yes, very, you are the dog, hard choice. Baby, don't be like that. Excellent, Stephen. All right, let's have a look at camera 3. That's not too bad. You can't see it yet. I'm just going to come around here and sort it out so that when I actually do have it running, it'll be pretty cool to watch. That'll do. All right, flip this to the other camera. There we go. Now, how's that for a setup? It's not too bad, is it? Put those there, and then bring this over to the saw. All right, now I have to think for a second about which way I'm going to rip this. On the end, you can see I've got a cut there. So I need to tip this up this way, and I'm going to rip, looking straight at me, that's not good. Okay, so you can see I've got a split here. So I'm going to rip this wide, and I think we should be good. So I'm going to measure that. Get the specs again. Now, did I have a tape measure down here or not, David? I probably did, but you think I'll be able to find it? Probably not. I have a ruler. Oh, here's an interesting thing for you to see. This ruler, this is just a little plastic cheapo ruler that I got from Aldi or, wherever it was. Anyway, what I did was I cut the end off perfectly at 0. And it makes it great because now I can measure wood, just put my finger up against the end there and say, rightio, well, I know where I'm at. So that is, I'm going to cut it at 50 millimeters. And hopefully, actually, I'm going to cut it at 40. And now why am I going to do 40? No, stuff it, I'm going to do 50. I'll go with my original plan. All right, there we go. I'm going to raise the head up on the saw. Now, I put a new blade in this last night, and this is a 1 1/3 TPI bimetal blade. I can tilt that up a bit more. You can see what's happening. Up here, I have a height indicator, and I can measure this as well. It's 240 there. Down the other end where it's exiting, say 250. I'll take it to 250. But I also want to make sure that the bearings have got clearance as well. They do, but not quite. Let's go to 250. That's it. Unlock it there. Now, this is a very aggressive blade, but it's one of those things. If I used a finer tooth blade that was smaller, it might look less scary, but it would burn and it would be more of a problem for you as you're going with a resaw. This is a beautiful saw. I love it. This is a 2-horse. You can't get them anymore. I was super lucky. I bought this thing. Actually, I sold the Powermatic. I bought this. And, I was thinking maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have bought the Laguna. But this thing is as strong as an ox. And it does the job for me. Now, I wanted 50 millimeters. I've got the fence tipped up to a tall situation. So let's go to 50, which is there. That's nice. Connect the dust extraction and the power. This could be a problem, David. I might have to just bring this out for a second while I connect the power. Oh, sorry, while I connect the dust extraction port to it. Good, 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 good. Now, when you hear this start up, it's the suction on this dust extractor, since I converted it, the inlet, is just brilliant. And you'll hear it pulling like crazy. It's still going to be fine. I'll push it back just a little. There. Are you ready? It's a lot of mucking around for a piece of wood, isn't it? Oh dear. Here we go. Going to bring this back here. And actually check that it's not going to hit anything. Bring it to there. That's all good. And I want to stay safe. I'm going to move that cabinet behind me. The reason I'm doing a bit of mucking around is because I'm trying to give you guys the best camera angle, but I'm not going to jeopardize my safety by doing that. So I'm moving that cabinet out of the way. Opened up all this area here. The other thing is sawdust on plywood floors is very slippery. So there's no sawdust there at the moment, but after I finish there might be. So it's always a good idea to put a mat down that won't slip. Here we go. Get around behind. seconds. It's just run off a little bit. I need to straighten it up and have another go. Just waiting. Okay, start her up again. I wasn't pushing it in hard enough that way. Blade's a bit blunt on one side. Very blunt on one side. I'm going to stop it there. The reason being, wait for it. This blade appears to be wanting to favour one side. Now, rather than push it through and put on a brave face and say, oh, look how good this is, it's not going well. So this is a situation where I'm going to stop, and this blade, I think I may have hit something on the left-hand side the last time I was using it. So it was going beautifully before. You can see it cuts nicely, but it's running off to one side. So that's a shame. That really is a shame. Let me have a look at the end there. That's not bad. What I can do is just pull it back a little. And see if I can start her up. Risky a little bit, but I want to start her up and see how we go trying to straighten it up. Nope, it won't even start. Beautiful. That'll do. I'm going to take it out. Take it out very slowly. That is a shame. There it goes. Now, I can start it when it's free of all of that. How's the time going? Just on 12. I'll do it again. I want to get this out and cut. Again, hardly any sawdust. It's beautiful. There we go. just not doing it, is it? Turn it off, it's not worth it. What a shame. I might finish it with the chainsaw. What do you think? Let's have a look. That's a pretty good cut. Have a look. So that's where I've cut it. It was running off down here. It started going off to the side, and I thought it's just not worth it. It really isn't. Joint the top to get a better reference surface. Just a plastic wedge in the beginning of the cut. Need a wedge dough? No. What it is that blade, I'm pretty sure, has had a nick on the right-hand side. So as it was cutting, it's wanting to do this. It was twisting and wanting to run the other direction. Wedges, maybe, but you know what? You got a second? I'll do it with the chainsaw. I'll do it with the chainsaw and then we'll be done for the day. Let me have a look. I'm going to do it over here on the big bench. Spin this around. That up there. This one down. Now I don't have the rip blade in it. I guess I should, but I don't. That should sit there pretty well. Spin this around and watch from over there. What a shame. That would have been really nice to see that coming along the way that it was. Being cedar, I don't think I'm going to have too much of an issue with ripping it. No clamp on it this time, Stephen. Yeah. Blade is tight. All of that stuff, yep. It was the actual blade itself. Here I was giving the blade such a wrap, and next thing it went off to the edge. Here we go. All right. Out of there. Flip her over. Nearly done. Should have done it with the chainsaw in the first place. Okay. Let's run it through the thicknesser. If you've got time. That battery, let's have a look. It's down on 1, but it's fine. I got another one there. This is the little one. This is the 6. I'll put it over here with the red facing out. We'll take it over to the thickness planer and we'll run it through there a few times. Let's see if we can end up with something nice. What a shame. What a shame. You know what they say? Have a test run first. All right. Put this back in. That is so good. So good. All right. All right, we're going to get a little bit out of this, not a lot. You can see the chainsaw would have been a much better option right at the beginning. Let me see if I can see that on the screen. Yep, good enough. All right, 1:15. Razor up. You get to see it using it in both situations. What did we say, 50 odd? About there. That's okay. This is going to be a bit kind of cranky at the beginning. Going to lock the head there. Get the eye muffs. See how we go. Start her up. Might be noisy. Engage the rollers. There we go. Ha. Looking good. I'm taking 1.5 mil at a time. All right. That's going to do me for the moment. Now, that's one side. On the other side, and this is where the bandsaw went off, and you can see why I stopped, because it was just going to destroy it. So I thought I'd just go with it like that. But that, not bad timber. I'm going to finish cleaning this chunk of wood up during the week, and I'll show you all the timber I mill from it next week. So next week on the show, I was going to show you some stuff from one of the viewers, but that'll have to wait till next week. We run out of time with that drift on that blade. That was just annoying. It really was annoying. Anyway, I'm going to have to get that blade sharpened, or give it a shot myself. Why not? What do we got? What do we got? Next week, we're going to use the Gifkins jig, and we're going to do some dovetailing, and maybe even glue the box together. Why not? Let's have some fun. All right, thanks everyone for watching. And let me see, where are we? Close the show video. I think that's it. Should be. Thanks everyone. Look after yourselves. Be nice to each other. And I shall see you next week. The patrons will have the meeting. We'll have probably a 40-minute meeting after the show. See you soon. Bye.